Ramier Studio. Tennessee goes on the road, having won 7 of their last 8, or was it 8 of 9? Whatever it was, somebody finally not named Kentucky has defeated the Tennessee Volunteers, and that somebody's a Missouri team that really needed that win tonight. Third ranked win for them this season. They've now defeated Tennessee and Florida on the year, 2 teams at the top of the league. And Missouri tonight wins 73-69, a game where Tennessee had the halftime lead. Don't ask me how, because Tennessee played around with their food in the first half, and they paid the price. The Vols absolutely paid the price tonight for playing around and playing with their food. And this one here is just a bizarre basketball game. Just a really bizarre game. A night where if you look at the line and you look at the box score, you'd think, hey, the Vols, if Akpar gets you 15 on the road, he's 7 of 7 from the field, totally locked in, 8 rebounds on the night. Let me explain how much help he got up front from the rest of his front line. That would be none. That'd be none. Nate Ament tonight continues his shooting woes. Only 5 of 14 after a 3 for 13 performance with Vanderbilt over the weekend. And as good as the Vanderbilt game was, tonight's game was just poor. Just a poor basketball game from a pretty good Tennessee team. And all the delusions I had of maybe this team winning out and getting to a 3 seed. And I mean, it's a crazy game. It's a crazy sport. Tennessee had a 10-2 lead tonight and basically threw the off switch, which is what this team does. It's what they've done all year. We want to hear from you at 865-200-5402. Again, 865-200-5402. As we're live with you in the Ramier Studio tonight, just a really brutal result from the Vols, and quite frankly, a total team loss. Brian Hartman, your thoughts? It was a 12-2 lead. My bad. You're right. It was a 10-point lead early. Should have been 20, but Tennessee just kind of did what they do. They just played around. And when that happened, I knew they were in trouble. You watch enough of these games. Bri, your thoughts?
They had 4 players in double figures on the road.
Yep.
And when you have that, you should win.
Yep.
They let 2 players beat them, and they didn't deny either player the ball. They didn't double team them. They let Boswell try to defend Barrett one-on-one, and I think Missouri shot like 1,000% in the second half, it seemed like.
Yep.
I mean, what was it, 16 of 26? And Tennessee shoots 15 of 34, 2 for 10 from 3, and there you go. There's your ball game.
And Missouri, 16 of 21, Matt, for Missouri from the field. And they also made their foul shots, which this team does not do. But they performed tonight. They executed.
Yeah, well, they had the best player on the floor, the Barrett guy that Tennessee just couldn't guard. And he went off, and he was the best player, and he carried them to a win. Mm-hmm. Tennessee was up 12 too early, and then Ament kind of rolled his ankle, and I don't think he was the same after that. He had a lot of shots that were just short and not even close. At times, he had some really impressive, rebounds and a great block at one point, and found a way to manufacture 17, which is impressive. But Gillespie just struggled. Gillespie just missed too many open shots, especially in the first half. He just missed them, and they just didn't go in. And he what did you say? He got like 19?
Yeah, he had 19.
That just wasn't enough.
Nope.
He just missed a whole lot. He took a whole lot of shots to get those 19. And that, you wasted a great game from Akpara.
Yep.
Boswell contributed and played pretty well and got you some points when you needed them.
Yes.
Nobody else was looking to do anything offensively. But, you let a guy that probably was number 3 or 4 in the scouting report go for a career high on you, and was just unstoppable and just killed you getting to the rim.
Barrett had 28. Mitchell had 23 for them. Tennessee with 4 players in double figures. And our number is 865-200-5402.
You had Carey on the court, and he was blank offensively.
Poor Carey.
The entire last 2 minutes of the game.
I love him, but he's just not very good. No offense to him. He did get 10
How
boards.
do you have 6 offensive rebounds but no points?
I don't know, Matt.
That's really impressive.
I guess when you have a 4-centimeter vertical, poor guy just can't jump. I mean, he just can't jump. And Tennessee wore it tonight. Hell of a win for Missouri. They're 3-1 versus ranked opponents at home this season. And you can see it. I mean, they elevated their game tonight for the Vols. They fell down 12 too early. And I mean to tell you, we just did that thing. When we had that span, and then we'll go to the phones, I could not believe when we had that span of the 4 quick turnovers, and one of them was the Henderson ball that he threw way out of bounds. He was gone. Berg tried a pass down low. You had Brown trying to throw an alley-oop to Akpara. I mean, what the hell is that? Any of those plays. Missouri had us all sped up for some reason. We were in total control of the game. That's the thing about this team, man. This team has a default switch that they will go into where they just lose all motor control. Really, 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 really strange basketball game tonight. But we'll go to the phones, get as many people in here as humanly possible. 865-200-5402. Hello and welcome into our first call. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony. I want to talk about right after Nate Ament made that offensive rebound and putback.
Uh-huh.
We call a timeout, and this is where the coaching philosophy to me just doesn't make any sense. We're going into foul mode. Mm-hmm. Barrett gets the ball that earlier had an air ball and hits the front of the rim. We've got him trapped. All right, we're trying to trap him. We let him pass out of it to the hottest free throw shooter on the court. There's no rhyme or reason to that. Foul the kid that's had trouble on the free throw line. Take your chances.
You talking about Barrett?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was 4-6 for the night. He was going to make them. I mean, he already had 28 points.
Yeah, but if you remember Barrett, his last 2 free throws, he had a brick air ball, and then he hit the front of the rim.
Well, that's a good point.
If you're going to foul, why not foul the first guy that touches the ball that's the worst free throw shooter? Let him pass off to that Cruz kid that come off the bench and shoot. I just thought, okay, you're playing for a steal, but you let him pass out of it up the court. Any fundamental basketball coach says make him pass the ball backwards, not forwards. Anyway, I knew right then when we wasn't smarter than that, and we decided we was trying to outthink the room. I knew we was in trouble, and they had an opportunity right there to maybe make something happen, but they didn't play it that way.
They were very fortunate to be in that spot at the end of the game with everything that Tennessee didn't do, But that's how talented we are. That's how talented we are.
It breaks your heart.
Yep.
The Missouri crowd was great.
Yeah.
And you're right. There was 4 possessions in a row where they got out of everything we do right and went to everything we do wrong.
It made no sense. And why didn't the coach get a timeout and jerk a knot in somebody? This guy,
he got Boswell. Boswell come out of the game and you could see the cameras go for Rick followed him all the way down but every one of them needed that at the time.
Every one of them. What they needed to do was they needed to slow that game down in the first half when it got away from them, and he just didn't do it. He doesn't do it, and he wins a lot of games, but that stuff's just not my cup of tea. Just sitting over there and just watching that happen. But that's me. What do I know about it?
Tony, as close as the SEC is right now. There's a lot of one-basket games, and these kind of critical decisions will get you in a tight game.
No question. And listen, I appreciate the call. Thank you. Matt, what do you think? Does he have a worthwhile critique there in terms of we should have just gone ahead and taking our chances, even though Barrett was 4 of 6 from the foul line. His previous attempt was pretty bad, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, they put the Cruz kid in who I think was like an 80% free throw shooter, but hadn't made a shot all night. So he had to go and make shots for the first time in a big spot.
Yep.
So, I mean, and he give him credit. He made 4 of them down the stretch to put it away.
Yes.
But, I mean, it could go either way there. I was surprised they didn't foul right away because just the time, there just wasn't a ton of time left. But, that's not what lost you the game.
No.
That was when you were hoping to come back, but
you were hoping to pull one out of your rear end.
Just took over the game.
Yes, he did.
And Ament and Gillespie had kind of C+.
Yep.
Well, maybe Ament was maybe a B game, but that's not enough. That you have to get a lot of points from those two, and it's just they're not going to do it every night, and they didn't tonight. They did it. You found a way to do it at Vandy. You went 1-1 in this road stretch where you were a slight dog and slight favorite. I think we all probably would have taken that.
Yep.
And you won the game that was more important.
865-200-5402. Barrett tonight had 16.7 of 10 from the field. Didn't attempt a 3-ball. The other thing the Vols did tonight, which drove me nuts, is this team's forte is not shooting threes, and they shot 24 tonight, which is way too high of a number. But to Matt's point, Gillespie had about 4 of them in the first half that were point-blank shots that he generally hits. And they weren't even close to going in tonight. Just an odd game. I mean, I tell you, if you read the blog in the morning, you'll see that I was live blogging. But after halftime, I said, I'm not doing that. Because I knew it was coming. You watch this team enough, and you kind of get a sense at the half, these guys are in big trouble here. You just kind of get a sense, hey, this is, this isn't going to end well. And Mark Griffin called the shot today. He said these guys are going to be a total headache. Now, who would have known that Barrett was going to be the real hemorrhoid? But the Mitchell guy is just simply a great player. But the Barrett guy was the best player on the floor tonight. 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us, all lines are jammed, and we continue with the calls after this. We'll get you back to this episode of Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by Marcos Garza and your Garza Law firm, online at garzalaw.com. Don't you dare trust one of these carpetbagger, fly-by-night attorney groups that's come in here from Florida, Alabama, etc. You're going to trust the Garza Law firm, folks that live, work, worship, grocery shop with you, are a part of your community, are a part of us, are of the earth. Trustworthy, honest, legal representation, treating clients like family. Available 24/7 at garzalaw.com. Don't you dare trust one of those carpetbaggers. Shout out to our friends at T3 Vodka. Score you a T33 every time with Tennessee's premium vodka. Make it a 2026 resolution, handcrafted with passion, precision, a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka, taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. 5-time gold medal winning vodka. 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. And no doubt in the running in 2026 once again. Score a T33 and ask for T3 by name at your restaurants, your wine and liquor stores. Drink it neat, drink it right. T3 Vodka, hit a T33 every single time. And please drink responsibly. Shout out to Waterside Contracting. Got a dream about building? Waterside Contracting's been making dreams come true for over a quarter century. And counting, hundreds in our area. Custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting. If you want to build on your lot, they'll do incredible work for you. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the website, watersidecontractingllc.com, or see the link over at tclub.team. Quality without compromise, Waterside Contracting. When it's time for a fresh coat, you're going to run. Don't walk to Walker's Painting. You going to run. But you're not going to hide, because they've been making it beautiful since 1999. That's going on 27 years of serving the living volunteers. Free estimates available. Mention you heard about it here on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. And it's 10% off your first job. So let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting. See the ad in the blog over at tclub.team. And on the way out, I want to remind you, when it's time to play, it's time for VIP play. Why? Because everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP play. Claim your VIP play welcome bonus. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is T and Tony. They're live always, 200-plus leagues. All the college hoops you can stand, NBA, NHL, you name it, they've got it. VIP play, live always with 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options, and if you have a bet in mind and it's compliant within the state of Tennessee, the VIP players, well, they'll make it for you. That's why everybody gets treated like a VIP at VIP play. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet, VIP play. Speaking of VIPs, we got some folks that want to talk. We'll get back to them. Yeah, so Basilio, quit being so wordy on Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. As we welcome you back, making it happen with you. All lines currently jammed. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're live on Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. Vols fall on the road tonight, and the Vols weren't alone. Kentucky had a tough game on the road against a Mormon, South Carolina. Boy, that Kentucky team is lame. And Stephen F. and Pearl tonight went on the road, and literally the Oklahoma game, I'll bet you there were maybe 150 people in attendance. And Stephen F. and Pearl and Auburn took an absolute season beating in that game. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Tony, hey, it's Zach. What's up, y'all?
Hey, Z.
Thanks. Hey, man. Thanks to you and Matt and Brian for doing the game tonight. Like Groundhog Day in February, this is a tradition as old as time during the Barnes era, losing a Tuesday game on a cold February night to some goofy-ass either Missouri or Mississippi team. I mean, you can almost, it's just as,
yep.
You can mark it on the calendar in February like you can Valentine's Day or Groundhog Day. It never fails.
Guy wins a lot of games, but he's good for one of these every once in a while. It is
every
so
year, Tony.
Goofy.
And I knew we were going to, I mean, I hate to sound like a nega fan, but when it went from 14 to 2, what was
Yep.
it, 14 to 4?
Oh, I know it.
To 21.
I know
I knew that's. Actually, I turned the TV off
Yep.
and didn't turn it back on
Well, you're a
until
smart
it was
man.
about 2 minutes left.
You're a smart man.
But yeah, I mean, I only got so much time on this earth. So my question is, I've got a dirty joke about bunnies and how we blow bunnies, but I'm not going to do that. But Jalen Carey, I love his effort.
Mm-hmm.
And Brown, but how can somebody be in a game for 26 minutes and not have a field goal?
Well, Matt's got a
And we
great
just
point.
cannot-
When you grab 10 rebounds, okay, Zach,
You got to clip one of them.
and you don't score? I mean, in fact, I'm looking at his line. I'm looking at the breakout on the offensive end. Hey, Matt, how many of Carey's rebounds you think were offensive, Matt? Because this is a real mind bender. What do you think, Matt, out of his 10 boards? I'll help you. I got you guys muted.
Even look
I'm
the
sorry.
shooter try.
How about this, guys? 6 offensive rebounds. 6
He didn't even think
offensive
about shooting.
rebounds. Poor guy.
And it wasn't just him. I mean, we just can't put the ball. I can't. I'm not sure if Estrella had any putbacks.
Oh
but
no, he was so out of shape tonight. Oh my gosh.
He didn't even need to be out there.
No, that was not good.
No, it was just. I don't know if it's one of these games that Barnes doesn't really care about. We're playing for life and death. I mean, not life and
it
death,
kind
but we're
of
playing
felt
for
that way. It was weird. Tonight's game was weird. The combinations they had on the floor were weird. The playing Berg as early as they did was weird. Everything about tonight was weird.
this team, when there are times when it goes into goofy lineup mode, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're getting at. But
Yes.
most of the time, it's like this with these goofy combinations. A lot of guys seem like they're out of position, and letting that Simpsons character, Krusty, there's like a guy, what's that guy, Sideshow Bob from Simpsons. That guy, just letting him get to the rim at any time, letting him get any basket he wants, and I'm not sure how many shots he took, but I bet he had a high percentage, and which takes me to my final point is on percentages. We got to get better. We got to get better from Nate and Gillespie. Those guys are shooting at about a 35% clip over the last 2 or 3 games.
Yep.
And that's not really even counting the 3-ball, which, Ament's not really a 3-ball shooter. These guys are shooting so many shots with not much yield. So basically, I guess my question, y'all, I guess this kind of makes Alabama a must-win if we're trying to get that double bye. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, the Alabama game now becomes critical this weekend. The thing about the league, though, is, hey, there are some other teams going to absorb losses. This league, outside of South Carolina, and Brian made a good point, even that Oklahoma bunch that's at the bottom of the league, hey, Brian, they're kind of dangerous on any given night, that Oklahoma bunch.
They can score some points.
Yep.
They don't defend, but they can score, and that does make them dangerous, especially in their building.
The Barrett kid, though, if anybody saw this coming, let me know. He was 12 of 17 from the field. Got to the line. He's not a very good foul shooter. Made 4 or 6 from the foul line. But you're right, Zach. I mean, these goofy games, like tonight's goofy game, was just a signature goofy basketball game. It just had a goofy feel to it. We look like an absolute world beater when it was 12-2. I was thinking, where in the hell has this team been all year? They really have woken up in the last 3 games. And I mean, as soon as I had that thought, they went right into that off switch. And that switch went off in the first half. That was it for them.
I mean, Ament rolled his ankle.
That's a great
when that
point.
happened.
That's a great point.
I mean, him and Gillespie carry you, and Gillespie just was not good tonight. He just missed way too many shots.
Yep.
Missouri gives up a bunch of open threes, and our guy just missed them. He probably took 10 threes, and what did he make, like 2?
Back to the phones we go. He took on the night 12 threes and made 3, and that is not going to get it done. And several of them, Matt, to your point, weren't even close, and they were wide open looks. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Dave.
Hey, Dave. Welcome back to the show, man. We missed you last week.
At least we got about 8 high-level games out of Amen, because I think he's hit the wall.
So much for missing you last week.
Do what now?
I said so much for missing you last week. What do you mean he's hit the wall?
Well, I think he's hit a wall. Freshmen hit a wall.
They do.
And I think he's pretty much hit a wall, because he's been really bad the last couple of games. He had a big shot against Vanderbilt. I give him that. We didn't play real well against Vanderbilt, and we played really good defense against Vanderbilt.
That's
and
right.
Vanderbilt didn't shoot well. That was a big win, and I probably would have taken a split of these 2 road games before the week started. So that's okay. But we better be careful, because we have 2 losable games left on our schedule.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. You're preaching to the choir here, especially when, again, like Matt said, you're 2-player dependent like this team is. That the thing is, the 2 players are so good you can beat most anybody in front of you. I'm talking about anybody in the country now. But you're also so 2-player dependent that you could lose to anybody in the country as well. Just an odd team. And I'll tell you something else. The stuff that Barnes did tonight with the combo lineups, Dave. I mean, were they trying to prove a point? I mean, what were they doing tonight with some of those combos they had on the floor? weird, like a Twilight Zone game, Dave.
Carey and Estrella are not playable.
Estrella's hurt. Like Matt said.
Okay. Well, then Tony? Then he doesn't need to play.
Hey, you get no argument from me. I felt sorry for him. He
needs he was 0 for 3, 1 rebound in 10 minutes.
Dave, he attempted the turnaround shot, Matt. He threw up a little hook shot thing that missed the rim by 4 feet. I was thinking, Matt, when I saw that go up, please get him out of there. Please get him out of there, is what I was thinking. So I'm glad you articulated that,
It was
Matt.
like a fastball off the backboard.
Yeah, it was not. He looked like a guy totally out of rhythm. He didn't need to be out there. He obviously hasn't been practicing, despite what they say. And that's a rush job, putting him out there. That doesn't make any sense. But, again, their team, not mine. But I'm just watching that going, that kid did not belong out there tonight.
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
No, I didn't say anything. Brown only played 14 minutes, and that makes very little sense to me. Brown only playing 14 minutes in that game, unless I look over and see that he only had 3 personal fouls. Why did Brown not only play 14 minutes, Dave? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. He's our best post player. In other words, back to the basket player. Brown is.
Totally
now
agree.
The last 2 games. I mean, the last 2 games, Akbar has really played well.
Really well.
Right.
It's a shame to lose a game where Akbar is that dialed in, not only on offense, guys, but defensively tonight. He was like a human eraser out there. It was like Marvin Webster back in the old ABA, Dave. I mean, he was erasing people tonight.
Yeah, Barnes has never got out of the first weekend as a 5 or higher seed in 40 years. So I think this team should pack light, and it's just the way it is. I mean, they're just.
Guy.
I tell you, Tony, were y'all watching the game?
I took you under
and
wing,
just watching
man.
Gillespie.
I suspended you.
It's like running your fingernails over a chalkboard.
I took you under wing. I suspended you. We're trying to mold you into a better caller, and you come with this 5 seed stuff. And let's not overreact to this, okay?
Well, no, I'm just going on his history. You think all of a sudden it's going to change?
Never know. He said that.
No.
Well, Dave, he was asked on John Rothstein's podcast what's the greatest game he's ever coached. He said, I haven't coached it yet. So the implication being that's going to happen here at Tennessee for me before it's over. My best game.
8 win that got his Texas team to the Final Four. That's his best win in his 40 years.
We'll see how it goes. But Dave, I can see I still have some work to do with you. We still have some. You're like my little Gumby. You're my little pink clam of clay, and I will round you into shape before it's over.
Guys, y'all have a great night.
Thank you, Dave. 865-200-5402. Matt, did that really just happen? How did we do that? They looked so dead to the world, and then we just went asleep and kind of never woke up.
I don't know why you're acting surprised, Tone. That's kind of just who this team is. They just go in and out, in and out. You just hope that they're in more than they're out. And tonight they let the team get really hot and let 2 guys get really hot, and Tennessee couldn't answer.
Brian, what about
this? We've talked about it. This team's not going to blow anybody out, but they're also probably not going to get blown out. That's just how they play.
C just texted me a really great point, which is it's pretty amazing you are where you are with the limitations this basketball team has. To think if you win your home games, you probably finish 13-5 in the league, and you're probably tracking toward a 4 seed if you can do that. Which really, at the end of the day, is kind of amazing. And then his point is, the postscript on that, though, the bad version of this team, they can look really bad. Like you said, Matt. It's not just like an off switch with what do you call the thing in NASCAR that the fuel, like how much fuel gets into your deal?
Restricted plate.
These guys, I mean, there's nothing going into the restrictor plate when it happens to them. Thank you, Matt. Very good. Hello and welcome in as we get our next call in. It's Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime, presented by the great Marcos Garza, who is asleep, and the Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. But whenever you need them, they're available to you 24/7, and they're just a phone call away. And reach out over at garzalaw.com. So many disciplines of the law, and they've got you covered. And Marcos and his crew, I called with a question yesterday, and the great Andy Kofer took care of me on a quick question. They're wonderful folks. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, Greg with you. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Greg, welcome in.
Hey, let me say first, I didn't get to see all the game. I was out of pocket. I was in and out of it.
Be glad.
Did I hear you say that we led 12-2?
Oh, yeah, we were ripping them apart. They look like a middle school team when we were up 12-2.
Let me ask you a question. I've got some of the stats here. I don't have any of the individual shooting stats, but it says we shot 43% from the field.
Yes.
And early in that 12-2 lead, were we hitting our threes or not?
No, we were never hitting our threes tonight. The three ball never fell tonight for Tennessee.
Okay.
But we shot, we shot way too many of them. At one point, by the second TV timeout, we had already taken 9 3 balls. I made a note of that. We weren't even to the second TV timeout. We already had 9 3 balls. By the third TV timeout, we shot over 9 3 balls and already had 6 turnovers, Greg. This team's not winning when they do that. They're just not.
You know, the 3-point line, they were 7 of 20 freaking 4. 7 of 24. Missouri, 17 of 22 from the 3-point line. Now, I know a lot of games I've seen, watched on TV, where teams made the good open shot, mid-range shot, killing the 15-footers or whatever the case may be. And sooner or later, you got to determine as a shooter, if you're 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, you need to move in a little bit or do something different for 2-3 shots, and don't keep on, missing the threes. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, at this ranking, at the University of Tennessee College, basketball teams that go to schools that get picked to play there should shoot 10 for 10 in practice at the free throw line. They need to shoot 10 of 10. It's not that hard a shot. And most of these shooters on these teams can shoot pretty damn good. You get a guy coming in the late of the game. I saw the last 3 minutes, and Missouri's coach put that tall dude in. I didn't catch his name, but he hit four free throws and never took a shot in the whole damn game. Didn't score, never took a shot. And he come in there cold, and he hits 4 that put the game away. We had 42 rebounds to their 30. How in the hell? I mean, the free throws will kill you, no doubt about it. We hit 5 more free throws, and we're winning this game.
Greg, there's no doubt. No, and here's the thing about it. This is the reason. And thank you, Greg. The reason you knew Tennessee's losing is that when you compare the two teams, while we're going and shooting for a game percentage 57%, they're in the 300s in the country. They're shooting 77%. That's the difference in the game. On top of all the other idiotic things that you've done tonight, you just did some idiotic stuff. They just did. I'm telling you, that first half, for those of you that missed it, there's a stretch of 6 minutes of basketball in that first half. I text C and I said, that's the worst stretch of basketball in the Barnes era I've seen them play. Literally, on both ends of the floor. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. And they had these goofy combinations. And look, I mean, to me, I play teams in November to find out about myself, so that when I get to the end of February and March, it's takeoff time. And tonight's team looked like they were getting the Hindenburg out of the sky. That's what it looked like. It wasn't takeoff time. I had a Hindenburg sighting in the first half of that game. As we go back to our busy phones, thank you, Greg. And we'll get our next call in. Hello and welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony. It's David Eckworth.
Hey, Dave. Good to hear from you, man.
Hey, buddy. I don't get to call much anymore, man. I got a job that I can't listen during the week much anymore.
Damn it.
Tough, but,
that stinks.
I know. It sucks.
I miss you, man. I miss you.
I appreciate that. Look, I started enjoying the season more when I realized there's about 4 or 5 things they're going to do every week, which we've talked about. That they're going to have bad turnovers. They're going to have scoring drought. They're going to have, trouble with free throws. They're going to have, all these things that they do. I now accept it. The fact that they had a 12-2 lead early in that game meant nothing. And first off, Missouri's a good basketball team. They're not a great basketball team. They're a good basketball team. They weren't going to play like they did the first 5 minutes the entire game. You knew they were going to come back. This wasn't playing South Carolina where you could roll them by 30 at home. This is a good basketball team. And my 2 issues I had, other than these 2 issues, I thought we played about as well as I thought we would play, considering what we had going on Saturday, and that was a big win. And let's be honest, if we were going to go 1-1 in these last 2 games, what game did we want to win? We won the game we wanted to win.
Amen.
No doubt about it.
Amen.
But the 2 things I'm going to argue about is that when we had that stretch in the first half where we just forgot how to play basketball, I'm not sure. Maybe it was the ankle, but he did it a lot in the second half too. What's Ament doing sitting over in the corner just waiting on a ball to be thrown to him while we've got 4 other guys on the court that really aren't scorers? I didn't understand that plan. You would have thought when Gillespie and all these guys were off the court that Ament would be you'd run the offense through Ament, and he stood over there like he was just a 3-point shooting specialist and just waiting on a ball to come to him.
Matt,
I did not understand that.
Matt, do you have a thought on that? It's a really great point. That's a really excellent observation.
I think going back to the Vandy game, I'm not sure he's fully healthy. Like, I don't know what it is, but he had trouble at Vandy just dribbling and kind of creating things. Came out of his shoe tonight, and that was the same ankle he rolled. A few minutes later. I just don't think he's 100%. I think he's probably a little beat up, and they're trying to save his legs a little bit right there, kind of like they do Gillespie when they put him on the wing. You're just trying to steal a few minutes and keep them kind of fresh. But that was odd, and I think he made maybe 2 of those left corner threes. But it was weird to see Tennessee constantly moving the ball with Ament kind of being a decoy in a corner, but they were kind of leaving him open, so it didn't work.
And I think, the other thing though, go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I thought the Pierce guy did a great job guarding him too, and we got to give Pierce some credit. I want to give Missouri credit. They played a really tough game. They played physical. We get those games against teams every week. Those are the kind of games that Kentucky used to get every week when Kentucky was the king of the hill. You rolled into town and you got everybody's best. And I feel like we do that now. I feel like we're at that point that it means something for that orange jersey to walk into that arena for other teams now. And I feel like we get a lot of their best. But one of the things that to me that was a negative, and I don't understand it, but why was Boswell playing Barrett like he had 4 fouls in the entire second half? Why did he play that? I mean, he was literally just a few times just holding his arms up like, okay, I'm not going to foul him. I'm just going to let him score. That's not the way he's played defense all year long. What was up with that?
I don't know. He got roasted and toasted and ripped apart tonight. If that's and Brian makes a great point. When a guy's getting eaten alive out there, either put somebody else on him or help him.
Put Evans on it. They should have put Evans on him.
Right. At some point
in that second half.
Yes. That's the definition of insanity, man. If you're expecting different results, I mean, come on.
Yeah, and I would love to hear Barnes'
best defender
answer to that.
Allegedly.
Started him in the first half.
Yeah, I would just like to hear Barnes ask, if somebody asked Barnes, you saw that happening the entire second half. Was there any thought of doing something different than what you were doing? Because and I know we've talked about it. And look, I'm not hating on Barnes. Barnes wasn't the reason we lost this game, but I just wonder why there wasn't any sort of adjustment. Now that other kid, the other player, Mitchell or whatever, I mean, that kid's almost unguardable.
He's unbelievable.
Poor Brown.
Yeah.
Poor Brown just got talk about taken to the woodshed, but that's a senior versus a freshman. Brown's got a lot to learn on that. He can be kind of abused like that, but that's a learning game. He and Otpar are definitely our best two post players, and I think that's going to be a positive for us going forward because now we know who our two post players are. Kerry's going to get some run, but that's okay, And when it comes crunch time, I think those two guys are going to be on the court, and I really like how Otpar is playing right now. If he doesn't get he gets the worst whistle though on calls. He got called on 2 fouls in that second half where literally he was going backwards with his arms up in the air, falling backwards, and got called for fouls that I still don't understand.
It's a really great point. Dave, it's a great call. Yeah, it's great hearing from you, man. Thanks. Yeah, and to Dave's point, Bob Baskerville just tweeted the following. Bogey Flan versus Tennessee in January, season high 23. Out of nowhere from Florida. Out of nowhere. Denzel Aberdeen versus Tennessee in January, season high 22. Out of nowhere. And T.O. Barrett, career high 28. Which Baskerville says that just totally tracks for this Tennessee team. Amen, Bob. Amen. I mean, this club is. You got to score. Come on down, and we're pretty damn good defensively too. That's the other thing. It's just a curious team. There's just so much to like about this group. Like after a game like the Vanderbilt game and the way they finished and closed and played so purposeful and played so well in that environment. And then the night they went out there and looked, oh man, they were a wretched team tonight. At times, and they're so talented, despite the goofiness, that they still almost stole that game at the end if they could have made a few shots there.
They only scored 3 points for like 9 minutes in the first half, a 9-minute stretch. If they scored in double-figure points, they would have won easily, comfortably.
That's why I knew the game was over at halftime. As we come back on the other side, you see them go into that mode. They're not coming out of that. As we continue, we'll get some more calls in after this. We'll get you back on this episode of Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime momentarily. Shout out to our friends at Garza Law. They're online at garzalaw.com. They are attorneys that care. Let us help. And they are live. They are local. They live among us. Don't you dare trust one of these out-of-towners, these carpetbaggers, these people that have bombed the area on our local airwaves. Garza Law online at garzalaw.com. Whether it's DUI defense, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security disability, or other aspects of the law, Garza Law has got you covered. They are a fabric and a fabric in this community. What is a fabric? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. My friends at Calhoun's are a part of the fabric of this community as well. They've been sponsoring us for over a quarter century. They have been celebrating at the Copper Cellar family of restaurants 50 years of serving the living volunteers. That's right, 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Calhoun's. The taste of Tennessee. Before or after the basketball game for the Vols and the Lady Vols. Also remember, great party platters when you're hosting. And remember, they also do takeout as well. They are the taste of Tennessee. You will taste the freshness. Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. My friends at Connexion present Knoxville's Drive of the Game here on Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. The My 20 Drive of the Game. The transportation platform revolutionizing the trucking industry nationwide, right here out of beautiful Knoxville, downtown Knoxville. You take control of your fleet in 2026. You improve your safety scores. You make drivers happy. You maximize your profitability. You make it a winning year in 2026 with KONEXIAL. That's KONEXIAL.com. Put a /Tony on there. We get credit for it. Drive life with Connexion and go Vols go. And you talk about live and local. Josh Collins is a pillar in our local community. What a beautiful guy he is. Look, you can get insurance anywhere, but will you get the Collins insurance difference? Our entire studio in the Raymere studio is insured by Josh Collins and the Collins Insurance Agency. We count on him. We trust him. We've had a few lightning strikes here. They've always been quick to pay. You never know what's going to happen. You and I both know that. See the difference. Experience the difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Also, want to shout out my friends at Alumni Hall. Ladies and germs, basketball season. The Vols and Lady Vols, they've got you covered. Also, when you're getting excited about Tennessee and the upcoming baseball season, they've got you covered. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the season, whatever the reason. Alumni Hall, the ultimate volunteer shopping experience. 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, and anytime around this great world of ours at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall. Now let's get back to the action on Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. See, I like that dismount, Tone. You're not as wordy there. By the way, one line available, 865-200-5440. Tell me, wait till the midnight hour till my love comes tumbling down. You know, I want to give some love to David Ackworth. Matt, we were talking during the timeout. He made an incredibly great point that bears underscoring here, so do it for us.
Yeah, and he took a little subtle shot at Kentucky, which I appreciated. But, you know, when Tennessee goes, you know, plays a lot of these teams, especially on the road, it's a signature game, and opponents get up for it most nights.
Yep.
And when you beat Tennessee, like Missouri's going to probably be comfortably in the field right now after that win, because Tennessee's kind of a signature win for teams. And that's something that we kind of overlook and we never give Barnes credit for, but it is worth pointing out. That's a huge win for Missouri. When Tennessee gets beat, and it should be something that kind of complements the program.
In the sport, he's taken the profile of this program, and he's raised it exponentially over even where Pearl had it, which is a remarkable thing to say out loud, because I thought there's no way in hell you could get it higher than Pearl got it, and this guy has. And Dave's right. Missouri played like their hair was on fire tonight. And Brian, we were talking during the timeout. When that Robinson guy shot that 1-3 ball at the end of the first half and it rattled around and bounced on the top of the backboard and then bounced in.
I think that was in the second half. I think that broke a tire.
Early in the second half.
Gave them the lead or something. It
like skipped around and bounced. It was like early in the second half. But yeah, it did that thing where it kind of skipped around and bounced in. You know. And then you get that, even though it wasn't a sellout crowd, you get that crowd's oiled up because we've played at the top of the sport for many, many years. We're a measuring stick for these programs. But their kids knew it. Their kids knew they were on the floor with the men tonight. Their kids knew they were on the floor against a Rick Barnes coach team who's played at the top of this league for 10 years. There's a lot of respect shown tonight. And I'll tell you something else. It's the second game in a row where we had 14 fouls called on us. They had 13. And Refalytics Shud, wherever you are, let me tell you, I like when the Zebras let these teams play and we don't have foul shooting contests at the end of games. Let them play, man. Let them play. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime presented by Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm. Hi.
Hey, Tony. John Vols calling in, man. How are y'all?
John, welcome in.
I think we're finding out who the Night Owls possibly could be tonight.
There you go.
So we know Dave is a Night Owl since he's missed the last, 2 or 3 wins.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Why do y'all think that UT hits that scoring wall? 'Cause I turned it on the radio on my way over.
Yeah. Well, how was Keith describing it? What was he saying?
Well, I was so pissed I turned it off to him.
He was the team. What happens with this team, I believe, is they just lose focus.
Yeah.
And internally, they've talked about that. Like, you talk to people around it, and they'll say how, for instance, one of the things that Gillespie's done here lately is he's focused a lot better defensively because he was going in and out on defense earlier in the year, but he's been pretty locked in.
Yeah.
Tonight, it wasn't so much like the defensive end as much as it was when they were in the middle of that throwing the game away in the first half and losing all the momentum. They were just turning the ball over needlessly and carelessly. Unlike I have not seen them do that this year to that extent. Now, we've seen them do some goofy things, but that was a sustained stretch. Bride, they scored 3 points, right, down the stretch in this first half. You pointed out. I mean, it was just you're just not going to win on the road doing that.
Until Gillespie, they went through almost 9 minutes with only a 3-point basket by Amen, I think, and then Gillespie hit 5 in the last minute. That actually gave him the lead at halftime again somehow.
Missouri cut a 10-point lead to 2 and had 2 looks at taking the lead in the first half. Tennessee turned the ball over 4 times in a row there. I mean, just crazy, crazy turnovers, too. Like the Henderson guy was trying an 80-foot pass like he was playing in an NBA All-Star game. The Berg guy looked like he was at Spurgeon Chapel in Oak Ridge again. After playing so well, Barnes saw his turnover and literally pulled him right off the floor. Put the Henderson guy in, who said, "Hold my Dos Equis, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'll show you what a real turnover looks like."
No, Tone, I guess when I turned it on, the Vols had just taken a 42-38 lead. So, Keith and them, they were pretty, up on UT. So everything was good at that point. But then Missouri, I guess that's probably when they started, not UT wasn't scoring and Missouri started hitting everything.
Yep.
But I don't know. I was kind of under the impression that Estrella was going to, sit for, several
So
games.
was I.
And then
so was I.
And that they wouldn't rush him back. And
that's what I believed, yes.
The Vandy game.
Yeah.
Which game was it? Was it the Vanderbilt game, the game before? But it almost seemed like, I don't want to get on the kid, but it seemed like the Vols played pretty good ball with Estrella on the bench. I'm not saying they're a better team without him, obviously.
Well, tonight's game, I mean, really, it was not fair to him to have him out there in tonight's game in my mind.
No, not at all.
But I appreciate you. Thank you, John. Anything else?
Thank you.
Go ahead. You run that.
No, that's it, Tone.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night and a good morning. As we've about reached the Wednesday morning portion of the program. Hello and welcome into the next call. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Hi.
Hey, Tony. It's Mark Gonzalez.
Hey, Mark.
Here in Como with Wesley from Gallatin.
Wow. Woo, that's hardcore right there. You went to that game, huh?
Yeah, I crossed this one off. It's the only arena I hadn't been to yet in the league.
What'd you
for
think of it?
basketball.
What do you think of that place?
I mean, it's all right. You know, it looks like Missouri. It kind of gave me the vibe of the football stadium there pre-renovations. So yeah, it's all right. A little goofy with the section numbers. They've got like 100 level section numbers in the upper level behind the basket. Like
nice.
they're a little goofy and in and out with the section numbers, kind of like Bridgestone.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah. Like a Bridgestone where you've got the 200 levels straight across the floor from a 300 level.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment earlier that, I think it was Dave saying that he would have taken a split. I mean, I thought a week ago that there was a good chance we'd get one of these.
Yep.
Like if we would have dropped the game Saturday, this is the bounce back spot. We got a big win, so you saw what you saw. Too many unforced turnovers, and just throwing the ball to the other team, chucking up ugly looking shots. Just they shot a lot more free throws than us as the game was progressing. We were all right when they were missing all of them. Missouri was back when Missouri was missing all their threes. Early in the game.
Yeah, we hung around. Yeah, you could see that coming though, couldn't you? When you're there, from your perspective, like when we unplugged there, what do you think it was? Was it the Amen injury? Was it that simple?
I didn't even notice that at the game. Like I remember him. I guess I kind of vaguely remember him going down, but like when I'm at the game and not listening to announcers talking about it, like I didn't even pick up on that he had turned his ankle and was possibly favoring that the rest of the way.
It looked painful. He went up for an offensive rebound, stepped on a defender's foot, got under him, and it looked, man, I've done that several times back in my ball playing days, and even, just later in life, when you step on something, uneven pavement or whatever, I was thinking what it must feel like for a 6'10" human being to come down like that on an ankle that gives way. That looked like it hurt like hell. And I don't want to say, because he was still pretty good. I mean, he still figured out a way to get 17 in the game, but he wasn't who he's been recently after that happened.
He wasn't who this team needs him to be.
That's a great way of putting it.
Unfortunate, because I actually think it's really impressive that he was as good as he was tonight, and he only made 5 shots from the field.
Yep.
Like, I thought he was really good. He had some really key rebounds, and the block was outstanding. Like, I thought he actually played really well, and for him to have like a C night scoring, he still scored 17 and contributed in a lot of ways. It really talks about how good he is.
If he turned an ankle, I'm kind of, depending how bad it was, I'm kind of worried about tomorrow, because like sometimes you can turn an ankle and you don't take your shoe off, and you might be able to get by the rest of the night, but then you take the shoe off, and your foot's just waiting to blow up. So
no doubt about it.
I mean, if it was real bad, he probably couldn't have finished. So maybe it's not that bad, but yeah, that makes me a little worried about tomorrow. I was really hoping to get this one, because if we would have won this game and Florida were to maybe lose tomorrow at Texas, it would have opened the door for us to end up, winning the league. But now I guess for me, it's about, as far as goals, would like to get that double bye in Nashville, and would ideally like to get a 4 seed in the NCAAs, because Barnes is pulling off. Coach Barnes is pulling off like probably the best run in school history. So I'm not like I love it. I mean, went 2 straight Elite Eights. I love it. But Matt's laid out the tail of the tape about the tournament history. So Matt's laid out the tail of the tape on the tournament history. So it kind of feels like we have to get a 4 seed to be eligible to go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, look, and Dave said it earlier, and I hate Dave saying it because it aggravates me, because I'm going to have to listen to him for 2 weeks unless I can maybe shape him, bend him into shape between now and then. I don't know, Mark, are you betting against me, or you think I could round Dave into shape and make him a little more positive in the next couple of weeks? What do you think? Think we can do it?
Oh yeah, Pearson.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think he says a lot of things that are correct.
No,
but
he does. It's just how he says
He leans in on the bad and more so than the
he loves
the good.
Yeah, he loves the bad. He missed a good chance. He could have been a Philadelphia sports fan. But anyway, I digress. You're right. If you're a 5 seed and you're playing a 4 and you're Rick Barnes, do you expect to win that game in the NCAA tournament? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not.
I don't know what the difference is between a 5 and a 4, but
I don't either. But apparently there's a difference.
The 4, not the 5.
Yeah, apparently there's a apparently with him there's a difference. But Mark, I appreciate you. Thank you. It's always good talking with you, man. Yeah, always good hearing from Mark in Dallas. So I had a chance to meet at Calhoun's during our visits that we have out there, our Friday deals that we do during football season, which is just such a wonderful privilege and a blessing to be a part of that. And we'll be doing Fridays during baseball season down at Calhoun's on the River when we open at home. Matt's got a report tomorrow on the blog on the Bellarmine win. Plus, Tennessee has an interesting weekend down deep in the heart of Texas, no doubt. So, but we'll go back to the phones at 865-200-5402 if you want to join. We'd love to hear from you. Mark, great hearing from you. Take a brief time out, get a few more calls in, and then get out of here on an early, easy for me to say, Wednesday morning. Get you back to Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime momentarily. Fast-flowing show today, as they all are, and life flows quickly at you. Look, you're going to need an attorney you can count on. That's why Marcos Garza and the Garza Law Firm here for you. They are live and local. They are one of us. They are of this earth. They are not from Alabama. They are not from Florida. They are not from Atlanta. They are not one of these fly-by-nighters that have bombarded the area with all kinds of crazy marketing and crazy promises. They are us, ladies and gentlemen, your Garza Law Firm, online at garzalaw.com. Whether it's DUI, criminal defense, personal injury, Social Security, or disability, they got you covered at Garza Law, online at garzalaw.com. You talk about one of us, you bow thy head. That's the great Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner, WeShipFloors.com, their pricing is utterly insane. You will literally save thousands. Supercore floor, it is the real deal. Whatever you do, go to WeShipFloors.com. Check out the room visualizer on the website. You can drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order a free sample today. It is that simple. You order a free sample, it makes us look great, but you're also gonna, when you see the product and you go on YouTube and you check out WeShipFloors.com, that's WeShipFloors.com, right out of Johnson City. Millions and millions and the millions of square feet in stock. WeShipFloors.com. Save thousands on millions. WeShipFloors.com. And while we're on the subject, I want to say, raise a glass. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our friends at Dos Equis. You are going to go for Dos. Say it, know it, and write it down. Dos Equis Lager Especial. When it's time to celebrate, when it's time to nestle in and watch the Vols all winter long. Dos Equis Lager Especial, that golden Pilsner-style beer made from the choice of hops. A balanced composition, a smooth, clean finish. The party guest always invited, never overstays his welcome. Dos Equis Lager Especial. You can dress it up, rub that bottleneck, that can, that glass, that rim. Put a little lime on it. Dip it a little salt. And lick and drink and repeat, and you'll come back again and again. Dos Equis 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Yo soy Antonio. Go for Dos Equis. Also, how do we perform at our best? It's called Performance Medicine. I want to encourage you to check out Performance Medicine's YouTube channel. You'll be very glad that you did. They are absolutely incredible at Performance Medicine. Dr. Rogers and his gang want you healthy. They don't want to treat you when you're sick. They want you to stay healthy. Take control of your wellness. Personalized health solutions that fit your life. The approach of Performance Medicine puts you first. focusing on comprehensive, proactive solutions, empowering you to achieve optimal health on your terms. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you feeling drained? You struggling with your weight goals? You feeling foggy mentally? You dreaming of radiant skin? You name it, they've got it. Performance Medicine. Online at performancemedicine.net, and check out their YouTube channel. They are incredible people, helping hundreds and hundreds in this audience. And now, without further ado, let's get back to another edition of Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. Yeah, and shout out to my man, Dr. Rogers, over at Performance Medicine. We're performing at our best right now, making it happen with you. 865-200-5402. It's Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime. To hit the reset button for you here, we've got Matt Dixon in the house. We've got Brian Hartman as well, and Matt was over covering the baseball game today. Also, Will Heflin has just dropped the latest and greatest edition. After what happened to Wes Rucker last week, he could not focus and he couldn't do it. For his new Tennessee baseball podcast that he's calling Starting Rotation. But let's go back to our phones. Matt, we were just talking during the timeout. Matt looked down at that box score and said, we just wasted great nights from Boswell and also Akpara and somehow didn't win a game. And Brian said earlier, Tennessee's got 4 guys in double figures and didn't win a road game, which is pretty, you got to admit, you have to admire that. Now, that's some handiwork there. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What, did anybody else even score besides those 4?
That would be a great point, Matt, because the answer to that is
Brown probably got
Brown had 5.
Did Evans score?
No, he was down on the farm. Brown had 5, and that's it. Anatomy of a loss. Hello and welcome in. You're on Garza Law, Tennessee Basketball Overtime.
Hey, Tone, it's Andrew Marable. I appreciate you and Brian, Matt doing the show into the wee small hours.
Yeah, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask a quick question, and I'll hang up and listen.
Sure.
I don't know if you've heard any feedback from the staff or anything, what they think about how Gillespie's been playing this year. You know, you kind of zoom out, and he's averaging a lot of points, but in terms of his play style, it's just not the guy that, I remember seeing at Maryland. He's taking, I think, like 3 more threes a game, and he's not even attempting to get into the paint. I remember the Duke preseason game, he had tried to get to the rim about 4 or 5 times and got it blocked every single time, and he's not really even tried to do it since then. And, I don't know, is that, if that's like instructions or if maybe he's just not got the energy because of what they're asking on the defensive end. I don't know if you've heard anything about that. But again, I appreciate y'all doing the show.
And I appreciate you. The thing I hear about him is they love how his defense, because they're so defensive oriented, how his defending has really, really clicked into gear. Now, the thing about tonight's game, Andrew, he just didn't have it. But I'm going to disagree a little bit with your assertion that he doesn't attempt to drive. I think he drives plenty. He just doesn't have the same cast of characters around him that he had at Maryland. I mean, at Maryland, he had Rodney Rice, who's an excellent basketball player. He's hurt, but he's an excellent basketball player. And they had a kid that's in the NBA right now, a veteran player who's in the NBA right now. So, in terms of the thing about his deal is he's got one other capable offensive player on the floor around him. That's the bottom line, night in and night out. Now, I know what you're going to say. Some would say, well, Tennessee. Tony, what about the guys tonight that scored? Okay, what about them? I mean, one basketball game does not a season make. I think the reason you're seeing a more offensive guy is that I think he feels that he needs to be more offensive, more three-oriented than he was at Maryland last year. And by the way, when you have Rodney Rice on the floor and you get more spacing, you're going to get more opportunities to drive the ball. I mean, to me, that's just simple geometry or physics or however you want to put that. But that's just spacing. I mean, who are you going to respect on this team that's going to pull a guard away and create a lane for you? And then when you put Carey on the floor, no offense to Carey and Boswell, but those two guys, I mean, you got anything you want to add to that, Matt? Because I just think Gillespie's, I think he's giving his best shot here. I don't know that he's a natural quote-unquote point guard. Maybe he's more of an off guard. But he's played pretty damn well here down the stretch, I think. He didn't have a good game tonight, though.
Yeah, he just didn't make shots tonight. I've actually got his stats pulled up on Torvik, and he is basically the same player this year that he was last year at Maryland. He just has a much higher usage rate and is taking a lot more shots, and he's not as efficient because he doesn't have all the help around him that he did at Maryland with Rodney Rice, and then the Derek Queen guy inside was huge as well.
Yep.
So I just think Gillespie, I mean, really just he's the same guy. He just isn't as efficient of a shooter because, like you kind of mentioned, Tony's, the spacing's not great, and this team just needs him to do a whole lot more than he was asked to do last year at Maryland. It is frustrating to watch him because it just feels like he can never turn it on to that extra gear when this team needs him to.
Yes. And I think that's a fair. The thing about him is that I thought last year he was a more instinctive player, but he was in a completely different spot last year. And at Belmont, just a completely different spot. So we'll go back to our phones, 865-200-5402. I've grown to appreciate him. I've grown to appreciate Boswell, but, Boswell being a guy that gets the minutes he gets on a team like this that's going to finish with that record as a two-guard, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. Because 13 points for him tonight is an outburst. It's an outburst. So, back to the phones we go. The Gillespie guy is going to play here 1 year. Is going to walk out of here a very underrated player, I think. I know a lot of people, he's not their cup of tea, and you compare him to ZZ. You got to be fair to the guy, man. When you have the players around you that this guy has around him, I'm going to tell you what. Low key for this basketball team, and I'm not autopsying this team yet because the season's not over, but a big injury right now is that Phillips guy. First of all, he's a great athlete. Secondly, he gave you a lot of energy. And thirdly, he could at least function on the offensive end. Versus the poor Carey guy, who I will say one more time into this microphone, had 6 offensive rebounds tonight and 0 points. I don't know how you do that. My 76ers ought to draft him. That ought to be a guy Daryl Morey targets with one of his 52nd round picks he's collected from his stupid-ass trades. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony.
Yo.
It's Big Dog from West Tennessee.
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
Long-time listener, occasional post-game caller, recent YouTube chatter.
How crazy is the YouTube world over there?
Tony, I love it.
It's addicting, isn't it?
It is because I don't get to call in during the daily show, but I can have it on my computer.
Yeah, we love seeing
I use 3 screens.
Yeah,
and I love the conversation.
Thank you, brother. It's great to have you.
One of the main reasons I was calling in is, what I've dealt with over the last year and a half with the tragic accident of my parents, and I never got a chance to call in and just kind of give my condolences to Wes Rucker and his family. Nobody knows what you're going through on things like that, but they're going to go through a lot of stuff because of it being the way that happened. And I just wanted to give my shout out that he's in my prayers, his family's in my prayers, and Dave as well. The recent loss of his father. There's nothing like losing your dad, no matter how old you are.
Yeah, and you had a tragic accident occur too, right? Same thing.
I did. I'm still dealing with it. It's been a year and a half into it, and it's still going strong.
Man, you wake up every day and you think about them. You want to pick the phone up and call them, and
Yep. Especially during sports, which is another reason
Yep.
kind of why I called in. Like,
Yep.
That Vandy football game broke me as far as like being able to sit through a Tennessee live sporting event. So since then, I have pretty much just not paid attention to the game. I check the score at halftime. I occasionally go into Russell's chat at the halftime that he does sometimes, and then I pick up the post game show and I kind of get through it and join the chat, and I know what happened, and I usually go back and watch the games. But tonight, like, I think I said it a couple weeks ago in the chat that when we have a maddening basketball team like we have this year that is good enough to make a run, but then they do stupid stuff like they do, that they're going to be that team to make that run, and they're going to be that 2010 team that gets to Elite Eight because they do just enough good things to win games like tonight that they should have won, but we get into a tournament and they're going to make those plays, hopefully. And I just feel like this could be the team because, we got that Ament guy, we got Gillespie, we've got all the pieces to do it, and we have the coach.
Yep.
I just don't know why we blow games like tonight.
Well, and I think it was Zach that said it earlier. You can just go ahead and put Tennessee down for a couple of these a year, because that's an inexplicable basketball game we just sat through. There's no rhyme or reason for it other than you got to give Missouri credit, as Matt said. You had an opponent that literally went off, and we represent a big game to them. They got into unless they play their way out of it, that might solidify or really help them get into an NCAA tournament by accruing, defeating us, and what that means for their resume at the end of the day. But, hey, listen, it's always good hearing from you, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, go Vols.
Yeah, you're good people. And go Vols to you. And that Vanderbilt game, I know Josh Heupel and the people around him were extremely surprised at how they felt the weight of losing that Vanderbilt game the way that they did. But trust me when I tell you this, they felt it. That's why the changes were made that were made. And it might turn out to be a blessing in the long run, what happened in that Vanderbilt game for the program, but we'll wait and see. Any final thoughts here, guys, on the way out? Matt and Bry, as it's approaching 12:30 here in the Eastern Time Zone.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I was at that baseball game. If you were at the baseball game today,
yes,
and saw Beaumont score 3 runs, and you're listening to this, you're a hero. That'd be incredible. There's maybe 5 people that falls to, but
Matt was
you guys
the
are
base.
awesome. Those of you who did the double
duty. How hard was that game to sit through today, Matt?
Well, thank God it was quick because neither team could do anything at the plate.
What is going on with us, Matt?
I just think it's a new team, but a lot of young players, and and you're playing in bad conditions, but that's no excuse. You just you see flashes here and there, but it's been a struggle so far.
Wow. Thank you, Matt. Love you, bro. Bry, thank you. Favorite thing is when we do the early morning shows, we lose Bry. Sometimes Bry will conk out. One night we went to him on a football post game, and you just picture him all like slumped over. Like Angelo Bruno. Look it up, kids, in Philly, 1980. Look up Angelo Bruno, kids, and come back to me. Because if you look up Angelo Bruno right now, put Angelo Bruno, South Philadelphia, that was a crazy thing to live through when there's a mob war going on in your area. And I mean, every night when Bruce Springsteen has a lyric in the song about Atlantic City where he talks about the Chicken Man. They blew up the Chicken Man last night. Special shout out to my friends at your Garza Law Firm and my Garza Law Firm, because they're online at garzalaw.com. Thank you, Marcos. Thank you, crew. Thank you for all you do for our community. Shout out to my friends at Dos Equis, Cervezas Mexicanas. Unfortunately for us, Missouri put a seldom used guard in. We let him get to the foul line twice, and he went for Dos twice. So he could be your Dos Equis player of the game, I guess. Shout out to our friends at VIP Play, where everybody gets treated like a VIP. The NHL slate returns tomorrow night. Or is it tonight? It's tonight. I'm pretty focused and prepared for that. By the way, Watson Brown's going to join us later on today. I cannot wait to talk to him about the Aguilar thing and if he thinks there's a sense of relief internally. Or is he going to go, oh, heavens no, heavens no. I can just hear him right now. But if you bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Shout out to VIP Play. Also, T3 Vodka, I want to encourage you to score a T3 3 every time. You got to ask for it by name at your local watering hole or your local liquor store. T3 Vodka, ask for it by name. Also, special shout out to Waterside Contracting over on Norris Lake. WatersideContractingLLC.com. They can build anywhere all over East Tennessee, and they will. Walker's Painting since 1999, making East Tennessee more beautiful. New construction repaints, residential and commercial, they've got you. My friends at Calhoun's, A Taste of Tennessee. The other day when I was on the air, I was talking about on Saturday night, I had some ribs. Buddy, those things were unfreaking real. How good were they? I'm thinking about going for dose tomorrow. Going back. Can you do that? Can you eat ribs twice in a week? That's the other white meat. The other white meat. But they are the Taste of Tennessee. Also, special shout out to my friends at Connexial, Knoxville's own transportation logistics tech company. They've been with us for several seasons here and for a multitude of reasons, I suppose. But Wichita, Ken, you're my man. And what you guys do making our roads safer for all of us. KONEXIAL.com. Put a /Tony on it. We get credit for it when you check them out. Also, my man Josh Collins over at my Collins Insurance Agency. Everything in here is insured by them at your Collins Insurance Agency. Say it, know it, and write it down. And we've got two converging seasons right now. We got baseball and basketball, and Alumni Hall meets the moment each and every day. Alumni Hall meets the moment each and every day. And that's why you need to pop into one of their several Tennessee locations, Bristol, Murfreesboro, 3 in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City, or check them out at alumnihall.com, or download the app and learn more about the Hall Pass points that you will accrue. Earn as you spend, as they say in the trade. And my man Alan of WeShipFloors.com, who's got swinging deals right now on some discontinued colors that Alan has. This stuff is first run. This stuff is first rate. This stuff is top quality. And he kind of needs to, make some room at the worldwide headquarters in Johnson City. So let his loss be your win. And reach out to Alan at WeShipFloors.com and tell him you heard about it from Basilio. Also, special shout out to Performance Medicine. You'll perform your best with Performance Medicine. I guess that's what I'm doing right now. I'm performing at least. But till we meet again, Tennessee loses tonight. The game kind of sucked, but we had an interesting post-game show here, as it's always interesting. But the Vols come up short tonight in Como. Why are they in the league? I don't know. I'm editorializing once again. Do you even think about them? Do you even think about the people from Como? I guess back when I first started losing my hair, I did, because I thought they named a school after my hairstyle. But other than that, other than those that have Comos in our, and you know who you are, the folks with the Comos in our audience. Is there a place for these people? Here's tonight's show. And they paid the price. The Vols absolutely paid the price tonight for playing around and playing with their food. And this one here is just a bizarre basketball game. Just a really bizarre game. A night where if you look at the line and you look at the box score, you'd think, hey, the Vols, if Akpar gets you 15 on the road, he's 7 of 7 from the field, totally locked in, 8 rebounds on the night. Let me explain how much help he got up front from the rest of his front line. That would be none. That'd be none. Nate Ament tonight continues his shooting woes. Only 5 of 14 after a 3 for 13 performance with Vanderbilt.